Hi everyone, my name is Charlotte and I'm on a journey to try and test side hustles in order to make money online in an honest and organic way. Unfortunately, there's a lot of content out there in this niche with people claiming to do this, but actually all they want to do is to get rich from you selling you a book or a course, but with no guarantee of getting any actual results, leaving you out of pocket, but you've filled their pockets in the process because they're selling you on a dream. What I want to do is try genuine side hustles where I can offer something of value and share my experiences along the way on this channel for free, so that like-minded people who want to do the same can follow along and try it for themselves. So I won't be trying to sell you anything today. There are side hustles out there where you can make money online without charging anything. Think ad revenue, affiliate links, and sponsored content. Or you can create genuine physical or digital products to sell where the people buying them get something of value, it's something they want, something they'll get a lot of use out of, and more importantly, they are getting something that they were actually promised. So if you're looking for a miracle get rich quick and you don't mind taking people's hard-earned money on empty promises in order to fill your own pockets, then you've come to exactly the wrong place. Because I teach about honest side hustles where we can all make a little bit of extra online with our goodness and integrity still intact. And so with that slightly sassy and I felt like it needed saying introduction out of the way, let's crack on with the content of this video. 2 months ago, I started to explore Amazon KDP, that's Kindle Direct Publishing, for low content books. Think anything where the customer fills in the majority of the content inside the book for themselves. I filmed my first video in this series back in November, and if you haven't seen it yet, I will pop it up above. That video was all about getting set up and started and showing the steps I took in order to launch this project. However, the top question I got on that video was, did it work and did it make any money? Well, at the time I was launching that, I had no idea what was going to happen. So if that's what you're interested in, does this make any money? Then I'm just going to cover that first, and then if you want to know more about it based on how much money I made, then you can decide whether you want to stay watching the video any further for a bit more information about how, what, why, and all of the good stuff that went into launching this off the ground. So the answer to the first question is yes, I did make sales. The answer to the second question, yes, I did make money. Was it groundbreaking? Absolutely not, but this was the first 50 days of my business being live. So if you're going into this, which is, I must remind you, an incredibly oversaturated market already, it is very unlikely that you're going to be making thousands in your first month. So I launched my first product on the 26th of November, and today is the 14th of January when I'm filming this, so I make that 50 days. In that time, I sold 30 products and it made £115.23. Because you've got to remember that just because you sell the product, Amazon also charges the printing fees, obviously, but they also take quite a substantial cut of what you charge. So despite the fact that my journal is priced at $18.99 and I sold 26 of those, for those of you paying attention, that means 4 of the sales were from other products, that would be $493.74. So you can see just how much Amazon takes for printing costs and then their commission because it's on their site. I made £115.23. But you've got to remember, that is a first month, my first time having products, my first time trying to advertise them on a social media platform on an account that had 0 followers. So I'm not going to turn up my nose at a first full month earning £115 as a complete beginner in this side hustle. All that tells me is it can be done, and I've got the opportunity now to go forward with this, become better, create better products, promote it better. And I honestly think this is something I can start to run with. I'm particularly excited about this side hustle. 1, because it's free to start. 2, because it can be free to run. The only charge really I have found is if you want proof copies of your books to check, they're all okay. I was very uncomfortable about just putting things out into the world without checking it was okay. Can you imagine if it just looked awful and you'd put that out into the world and then you just got flooded with complaints. Absolutely not. So if you want to order proof copies, that's the only cost I've experienced so far. You can then also pay for like Instagram ads, which I haven't done yet. I didn't want to pay for that yet, given that I didn't know if this was even going to earn me any money. But if you didn't want to order proof copies, technically you can do this for free. But I am particularly excited about this one because of the creative aspect. I loved designing particularly the journal, and I've got a few more ideas I'm working on now. I'm just excited about this as a side hustle. It's a shame it's a really oversaturated market, but I'm willing to put in the work to be in this market. I'm really enjoying this so far. So if you want to know a bit more, stay tuned. If you remember, the first product I worked on and the first product I launched were a set of 3 winter themed notebooks. Very basic, lined inside. I did put like a little picture or pattern on the bottom of each page just to give it a little bit of a creative flair and so it wasn't completely boring. But the fun aspect of that was designing the covers. I did a small, medium and large that had a same colour palette, so if you ordered all 3 they'd look really nice together, but also that you could just order one and it would work as a notebook on its own. Very simple. Did that do well? No. Am I surprised? Also no. So those notebooks made 2 sales, one for the large one and one for the medium one. And whilst I'm on it, this was a good example of ordering proof copies because those notebooks were 200 pages and I repeated the inside page. I made them on Canva. And so because if one page is correct, I just assumed all the others that are duplicates of that same page would be correct. I just trusted the process. But when it came to printing that, I went through it, I just flipped through it, and some of the lines had completely shifted and overlapped and gone into weird places. So then I went back in and I could see that was actually just a fault in Canva, that when it had duplicated the pages, it had shifted some of the lines. Luckily, no one had bought it at that point, and so I was just able to go in, correct those and re-upload it. So the version on there is now okay, but that is why proofing them is probably a good way to go. I launched a competition, like a giveaway for those products, and that did start to generate traction to my Instagram page, which is what I'd hoped for because it was a page with 0 followers, brand new. And so if you run a competition where you say that you've got to like the post and be following the page and whatever else, then it gets people to follow your page because they're going to get something for free. That's fine if you're going to use a competition to attract people to your page. Don't expect it to lead to sales because I'm offering people the opportunity to get this product for free. They've entered the competition. They're then going to wait till the end of the competition to see if they've won. They're not going to go and buy something that they might get for free, especially when you're a smaller page. There's fewer people in the competition. They're quite likely to be a winner. So as a way of generating traffic, the competition, the giveaway was good. As a way of generating sales, it's bad. So if you're thinking about doing it, it's entirely your decision, but it depends on what you're trying to achieve from it. So please bear that in mind. And then beyond that, it was really my own fault that the notebooks didn't take off because I only made a few posts about them. I stopped promoting them because I came up with the idea for the journal and I fell in love with that idea. I think it's a fantastic idea. And I was just running with that. I was posting every day. I used Advent to my advantage. You don't need to use Advent for your advantage. You can post every day anyway. But I was using that as a means to post a different feature about the journal every day. So a different tracker, a different page in the journal. And so I was posting something about the journal every single day. And that engagement, that level of in-depth content, so people seeing what they can actually get on every single page, was what started driving people to Amazon and purchasing the journal. And as I said, I made 26 sales of the journal. And people bought them in a variety of the different colours, but the most popular one was the beige one, which is the one I have, and it's the one that I have been posting about on my Instagram. But posting that much content about one low content book is only possible when your product has a lot of features. There's only so many reels and posts you can make about a very basic, simple notebook. So you can either have loads of different notebooks, so you can post different ones each day, or you need a product that stands out, that is unique, that has a lot to offer, so you can make multiple posts about the same product and still keep it interesting because you're posting about something different every day. I feel like in such an oversaturated market, you are going to need a standout product. You're going to need something unique, something that people aren't finding easily anywhere else. Something that, you know, has a bit of your personality, a bit of your flair. What can you offer that someone else hasn't come up with yet? Or even something that someone else has come up with yet, but you're able to put a twist on it, a spin on it, and make it something unique. The market is so overly saturated. I honestly don't think being a new creator in this field and just selling lined notebooks is necessarily going to take off without a lot of promoting. That's not to say notebooks don't have a place. They absolutely do. And in fact, I made 4 sales of notebooks, 2 of the winter ones and 2 older designs, which I'll talk about in a moment. But those sales, I honestly believe, only came because people came to my page for the journal and they stumbled across something else that they liked, which is exactly why you need a product that will bring people to your page. But then having those other notebooks and products readily available can also be valuable because someone may just stumble on something they like and they want to buy it. But I don't think in 2024 it's going to work with just basic notebooks being your leading product. Let me talk about my experience with this a little bit. So my journal was what was clearly attracting people to my page. However, I made 4 sales on notebooks and 2 of those were from my older designs that I hadn't launched before. I've got a few of them here to show you so you can see what I'm on about. Back in January 2023, when I first wanted to try KDP, I came up with a whole bunch of designs, uploaded them, ordered proofs of them, and then didn't do anything because I got the fear, I don't want to fail, I can't make it in this field, it's too oversaturated, and I didn't bother. And if you're feeling that, please just go for it, at least try. £100 is not a massive amount of money, but it is better than nothing, and it shows that I can at least get my foot in the door with this. So none of these products I have promoted. All I did was design them in January last year, and they happened to be on my account, sitting in the background somewhere, and then people have come along when probably looking at my journal, seen something they liked and ordered that either as well as or instead. And hopefully this will give you a few ideas about products you might want to design. So my favourite one is this one. I love the floral design of it, and it's just a to-do list notebook. Just FYI, if you do order proof copies, they will come with this banner on because you get them at the cost of printing and that's it, that you don't get charged anything else. As you can see, I've nearly used this one. It was a 100-page to-do list notebook, and I fold down my pages when I finish them. So if I just show you a blank page, so it's just a to-do list with a space for the date and bullet points. So simple. Designed the inside, put this little flower on the bottom just to give the page a bit of flair. And then that inside is ready to go in this size, which is 6 by 9 inches. I can then reuse that inside for any outside that I want to. So I've been using this for myself, even though it's a proof copy, and that just goes to show me which products I personally would get the use out of and which of my own products I absolutely haven't, but you know, someone else might. But it does give you an idea about the sort of products people might use and might not. Obviously now I've got my journal, that's got a little section for daily tasks anyway, so I've stopped using this, but it has still got a few pages left. That is just one of the products that is sitting in the background on my Amazon KDP store. You can even see, have the logo on the back, which I designed ages ago, back in January. It's much bigger on here. I've shrunk it down now on everything else and put the background in white rather than transparent. I've got this design, which is getting my life together. And again, this is another to-do list on the inside. But I did release this one as just a lined notebook and as a bullet notebook as well. So the same outside, but with options of different insides. And I think once you get the ball rolling with this, the amount of combinations you can make is incredible. The thing that's going to be time consuming, you know, once you've got the inside and once you've got the outside, the thing that's going to be time consuming is uploading all those different combinations to Amazon and waiting for them to be approved. This is one of the designs that actually sold as one of my background products, if you like. So this is Amazing Things Are Coming. I can't remember if it's sold as a notebook or a bullet, but this one is just the bullet one, and I can't remember if that's 150 or 200 pages, but I even started filling that in for myself once upon a time. Oh, that was something I needed to mention. I'm such a tangent person. People have been asking about bleed and going through the pages. Depends what you're using. I've done a mixture of tests and found some things work really well and others don't. So this I filled in with my graphic markers, which are designed to be on really dense artist paper. As you can see, that was a bad idea. Not only did it come through this page, it went onto that page. With my journal, because I didn't want to ruin it, I have stuck to using pencil crayons, gel pens, biros, and some highlighters are fine, absolutely no bleed whatsoever. The only problem I found was when I had one, it was in fact one of these highlighters, brand new. So it was very, very hardcore inky. That came through, but only the faintest bit. It was not like massive bleed through like this, it was just a tiny bit. But I've been using these pastel highlighters, and once you've used them a little bit and they're a little bit older as well, I found that they don't bleed through at all. So it really does just depend on the type of pens you are using as to whether it will bleed. So, you know, it's your call. I quite like how pencil crayons look anyway. I think they're quite nice and neat. So I've kept with doing a lot of it in that, and then writing in gel pen because that doesn't go through at all. So that was another design, and that one's sold. I've then got this design, which is not actually one of my favourites. I was going for kind of a deco design, and I think I missed. But this one is just a lined notebook, and again, trying to keep in with that theme, I just have that little detailing at the bottom. I then did a 5-minute gratitude journal, and again, all these designs are just done using Canva and a bit of imagination, a bit of creativity, and there's just space, half a page a day with space to put the date on to do your entry, with the idea that it should only take you 5 minutes because we're all very busy people. And then I have 3 designs for a manifestation diary. This is the one I've been using personally, but I'm not going to let you read it. And now there is space for that in my journal. I will be using my journal. But you've got to bear in mind, not everyone wants a whole journal with all the things in the same places. Some people might just want a little manifestation diary. And so this is really plain and simple. And I've just noticed there's a full-on mug ring on that from when I've put my cup on it. So those are just a few of my designs that I have been working on. And these are the things that I think shouldn't be your leading products, but that should exist on your page so that when your star products, the things that draw traffic to your page, they've done their job. Someone either buys your leading products or they don't. Regardless, they may decide to get one of your, if you like, background products. And I think it's really important that you've got a good selection of these. They're not necessarily going to be your #1 sellers, but once your design is done and it's uploaded and it's on there forever. You've not got to put in any more work. It's just going to sit there until someone orders it. Once it's on and once it's there, that's passive income. If it sells 1 copy, that's 1 more copy and that's 1 more payment than you would have got if you hadn't uploaded it. So there might be a bit of time in terms of creating these things, putting them together and uploading them, but once they're done, they're done. It's kind of like a YouTube video. I can have videos sat here for ages, getting very little views, and then at some point it might do really well and it starts generating income again. I didn't have to put in any more work. That video's been live for 3 years, but suddenly it's come round again and now it's generating me passive income. So I would still advise you have your background products for that reason. You've just also got to have something that draws the attention, that makes you stand out, that makes you unique. At this stage in the game, that is my next plan. I want to get lots of background products uploaded to my KDP store. Not because I think they're going to be super successful, but because next time I create a star product, if you like, and it's going to generate people to my page that might be interested in something, I want them to have a wider selection of background products because they're more likely then to find something that they like and they might want to order for themselves. And if I do my next star product first and start bringing people in, but there's no other products that they might be interested in, then I could be missing out on potential sales. So that's my strategy, is to work on some background products next. I have got a few ideas for my next star products, but obviously I'm not going to share those here yet. I would like to, you know, be the first one to give those a go. And so I will have to bring you another update sometime soon. I hope some of the information in this video has been useful to you and you are able to take something from it, whether it's ideas for products, whether it's a bit of a strategy to get your foot in the door, or just a bit of encouragement to give it a go, because even as a first timer, you can still earn a little bit of money. Thank you so much for watching. If you found the video helpful in any way, please do give it a thumbs up or comment letting me know if you would like further updates in this particular area. I'm really enjoying it and I can't wait to see where it goes next. Thank you for watching. I will see you again in another video very soon. Until then, take care. Bye.